Diaries is going on the road.
Prohibition Cellars, Woodinville, Washington, Thursday, August 13th, 6 p.m. With Rock and Dog, Return of Chasing Oz, and Heart Soul Revival.
We are taking Rockstar Diaries on the road.
To a stage near you.
Let's share stories, music, and fun together.
Rockstar Diaries TV show, Healing Out Loud, where you get to tell your story and change the world.
Hi, I'm Colin Egglesfield. Coming up next is Rockstar Diaries.
Well, hello, my lovelies. We are here, and it's Rockstar Diary time, healing out loud with heart, harmony, and purpose.
Turn the volume all the way up. Get ready to rock center stage. Welcome Tami Forster to the show. Welcome to the Rockstar Diaries family.
Anything stand out to you that just makes you proud of being an American?
Oh, absolutely. I've been to other countries, and so I know people kind of lose sight of that if they've never left, if they've just been in the U.S. But when you go to other countries, you certainly understand what that means, because there's plenty of other people who don't have what we have. We get so comfortable with just thinking that the luxuries are necessities, like a TV or a radio or running water even. I've been to third world countries where if they've just been in the U.S., but when you go to other countries, you certainly understand what that means, because there's plenty of other people who don't have what we have. We get so comfortable. Right. And the thing that I thought was really, really interesting is they were really happy. Should be really grateful, because that is exactly what the United States did in bringing freedom to be able to have those things so freely, even to be on here, a computer, a phone, right? Any of those things that a lot of those countries don't have. So I'm very grateful.
This is epic. And since we're on this conversation, I want to share my experience in an Uber when we went down for the LA Tribune Voices of Impact that I was asked to speak at, because it's along the lines of what you're talking about. So everywhere we go, we start just talk to the Uber drivers, because it's amazing what you can find out from them. Sure. And she loved it. She wanted to speak, and she started saying that she was Persian. And I said, oh, so do you still have family there? And she says, 9 million people are my family. And so she started telling me about her roots and how she ended up in LA. But she said, it doesn't matter what side you're on, like Republican, Democrat, anything like that. She says, what people don't know here in America is how good they have it. She says, I can practice whatever religion. I can walk along the beach without bombs going off. She was all smiles and just so passionate about America. But she was like, I so wish that the younger generation here in America could really see and acknowledge and know how lucky they are. And it was so amazing to hear her, right?
That is, yeah.
Talking from her perspective. And she had been in LA for 30 years, but she was probably 50. So
I went down quite a few years ago with a youth group, and we went to a Tijuana orphanage. An orphanage. And I'd won these stuffed animals. I was telling the story earlier today. I won a whole bunch of them. I had a garbage bag full of them, and I took them down on this trip into the orphanage. I've never seen kids light up like that in my life. and they had nothing. I mean, they truly had nothing. Playing in a muddy creek, clothes that they'd probably worn for days, and just grateful. That's what I think we're missing here in the United States is we've lost the ability to be grateful for the things that we do have. But when you do get the opportunity like that to hear those stories and actually see those things, man, it changes your perspective.
It really does. And you mentioned Mexico. For me, I was 21 years old and I went to Brazil with a Christian rock band. And a flood had just hit Cuiabá, which is, 2 hours away from Sao Paulo, which is the capital of Brazil, or one of the biggest.
Somewhere down there.
Yeah, somewhere down there. And they were living in cardboard huts. The kids were muddy. Everything that you just said, they were so joyful. I've never seen such happy kids before in my life. And
they don't know how to be entitled.
Yeah,
they don't know how to be entitled, and I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
So for me, with what my kids and I went through, they experienced some different things from a lot of people where we did really struggle. Sounds crazy, but I'm kind of grateful for that because they've learned how to be very resilient young men. Experience that I went through with the court system and with my kids and all of the things that we dealt with, which really kind of put a whole different spin on who I am today. And I'm thankful because in the last year and a half, it's really changed me, meeting new people and going into this entrepreneurial endeavor that I'm in to learn you can be whatever you want to be. It took me back to who I was as a kid, but a lot smarter, a lot more resilient, a lot stronger, and able to represent for my kids, which I think is it's fun to watch them in the last year and a half because they've changed, because I've changed.
Let's welcome Jennifer Precious.
Hi, how are you doing?
Well, let's break this apart for a minute. So we have 3 different things. You are a mindset resilient coach. So we want to talk about that. You sometimes refer yourself as a legal system warrior, but it's because of what you just talked about and what you went through. And I know we have a lot of friends and family that have had to deal with certain things around that. And then you have a new program that you're working on. So let's talk first, I guess, about what happened with that the legal stuff and what guided you to what you're doing now.
Like I said, I moved to Southern California being this happy-go-lucky, not really, I was very ignorant about the world, I think. I was not very conscious of how other people could be. And got in a relationship, we decided to have kids, and things didn't work out the way that they were supposed to. And we split up, and in doing so, ended up in a divorce, a breakup. I actually it's really convoluted. I won't get that far into it, but at one point I was in 3 different court cases all at once. I was in a divorce in one, I was in a custody battle in another, and I was in another civil case because I lost my home to bed bugs and I was trying to get my money back. So all at the same time as I was trying to figure out where I was going to live, how I was going to make money, because not only did that happen, but I'd lost everything. So to go through all of those things, and I'm working on a book to come out too. I am in a chapter in a book called The Change, Volume 24. Very exciting that I have a little chapter in that kind of explains what I went through. But I lost my kids for 8 months. And that's a battle nobody wants to have to deal with. And I always thought that the legal system was justice. It says justice, right? Literally says justice on the kiosk. Yeah. So I think you're really blindsided by going into that. I had no idea what to expect. I didn't know anything about the law. I didn't have to. None of that ever happened to me. And you walk in and you expect that's just going to be justice. You're going to tell your story and they're going to do the right thing and that's going to be it. It's not how it works. And I was very, very dumbfounded by that and ended up in a 10-year, over 100 plus just in family court hearings in that 10-year period of time, going through all of those different things, those different losses. And sometimes I had to represent myself, which one time I had to represent myself sick as a dog. They didn't care. Had to go and represent myself. I had a broken leg one time, had to represent myself with my broken leg. And I had many attorneys too. But I think the problem is it's a very broken system where you just go down this rabbit hole of going to the court hearing, because they really don't have time. What's happened is it's really become broken where the divorce rate went from 25% when my mom was young to today it's 65%. Mm-hmm. And I was shocked at the statistic that I read in 2024 in California alone, 4.8 million cases were filed in family court for whatever reason, domestic violence, divorce, whatever. 4.8 million. There is no way that they can address those cases the way that they should.
Right.
So the people get lost in the mix of that. And I think a lot of people are trying to battle it from the inside, fighting this business. Mm-hmm. It's a business. Mm-hmm. But for me, I want to teach people how to thrive while inside of that from the outside in, not from the inside out, because you can't. And that's what my program's all about, is really teaching them some skills to do that.
While you were going through all of this, I mean, there had to be other people like right alongside you going through the same things. Did you have a group of people get together and talk about it? Like, oh, we got to do this, and this, like be advocate for what you were going through?
The reason that I'm doing this is there wasn't one, and I'm shocked, but I understand why, because I think there's a lot of shame that kind of comes along with that. And so you're embarrassed by the whole situation and the fact that you're stuck in this, and it's just this beat down situation where you don't want to talk to anybody about it. I didn't even want to talk to my family about it. It was just embarrassing. How could I have gotten myself there? But I was. So they say there's advocates. I never found one, and you could go to legal services. You'd fill out this information for legal aid. Thank you for all the information, but we can't give you any legal advice. What was the good in that? And then you go to self-help and they tell you the same thing. So, and then you go to the attorney, and I think the problem with the attorneys is they're so overloaded that they'll hear about half of what you say. Mm. And then they think they've got it, right? And then they're off to the races, and you go into a court hearing and they say something you didn't want them to say, and you're not supposed to say anything, and you're going, what did you just say? And it completely changes the trajectory again and again and again and over and over and over. And you don't imagine that you could ever go to court that many times. For me, that was once a month. And I've actually met people that have gone more than me. That's terrifying. That's just terrifying. So yeah, you would think there was an advocate, but that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I want to be that advocate for people from the outside in, not the inside out.
Oh, wow.
So good.
You're watching the Rockstar Diaries TV show.
I still remember holding our very first anthology in my hands. I wasn't just becoming a published author. I was finally believing that my story mattered. Within 30 days, I became an international best-selling author, and that book opened doors to stages, podcasts, television, new clients, and opportunities I never imagined. Someone believed in my voice before I fully believed in it myself, and that changed everything. What if publishing wasn't the destination, but what if it became the launch pad? And that's why we are over the top excited to announce that we have created the Rockstar Ripple Effect.
More than an anthology, more than becoming a best-selling author, this is a community of purpose-driven leaders committed to changing lives. You'll gain access to real television, podcasts, strategic media, voice and stage mastery, professional branding, relationships, and opportunities designed to help your message reach the people who need it most.
So we've partnered with some of the most respected experts. So your story doesn't sit on a shelf. It creates a ripple effect. This is where stories become movements.
This is where you become unforgettable.
This is Rockstar Ripple Effect.
So good. So tell us about your program then.
Warrior Success System. And the purpose of that is in my resilience mindset coaching, and I'm a certified master coach. I'm actually in the process of my NLP. I love the way that they work that. And really it's in guiding you to kind of come to your own solution by talking about it, by dealing with it. There are steps in doing that. And for my coaching program, I have anchors inside that program that we work within a 4-week framework. So what we do is we go on once a week for an hour, 4 times to go down that road. Okay, here's this anchor that we want to talk about. What I found is you feel really alone. So instead of doing a one-on-one, which kind of gets into the emotions of it, I want you to change your mindset. So I think it's a better platform to do it in a workshop setting where there's other people to work with. That workshop setting is vital in providing that 4-week framework. I have other frameworks down the road, not frameworks, but systems. I have the 4-week, I have a 6-week, I have a 6-month. So it just really depends on how long you want to stay in that, if you're feeling like you need to continue to work down that road, right? Mm-hmm. And it's certainly a whole lot less expensive than an attorney because they're horribly expensive these days.
Wow. And, it means so much more because you went through it.
Yes.
That it helps all those that are hearing it because you have the passion you're telling them compared to someone else like a government worker just getting money and just sitting down here. I'm going to tell you about this program right here.
We're reading from a here's the brochure. Yeah.
The brochure.
The brochure.
I've experienced that, right? Like I said, I don't even know. I think I lost count. I had 10 attorneys over that period of time. So when you switch, now you got to talk about it again. You got to start all over again. Talk about wearing you down. People say, how'd you get through it? 100% got carried. Things weren't going so good. Came out of that courthouse and I hated it. I'm like, that right in the middle, it said justice. I'm like, oh, I wish they'd take it out of there. Just take that out of there. This is not justice. This is a business. Just call a spade, right? And so for me, I'm standing in these lines and I'm thinking, this is crazy. Just lines of people thinking they're going to get a solution. And I walked out one day, it didn't go well. And I went to my car and I broke down. I was so tired, so devastated, so overwhelmed by the whole thing and just them getting me wrong. Mm-hmm. That's not who I am. Just being beat up as someone that I wasn't because they're not listening.
Right.
I finally just said, you know what, God, I'm done. Mm-hmm. I can't do this on my own. Mm-hmm. My mom always said, let go and let God. And I don't know, just that moment, I just went, I can't do this anymore. You do it. And it didn't get easier, but I didn't feel so crushed. And I was able to take the next step and the next step. And I remember I had the Footprints poem was above my fireplace.
Oh, love it.
I've read it so many times, but I remember reading it one time and going, oh, I did it. There were no footprints in the sand. It was you. I got it. Okay, cool. And it just was so difficult, but I lived in this house at the time in the mountains, big house, no kids, nobody there. It's very rural. That could have been enough to just destroy somebody. Peace isn't about everything being perfect. Peace is about that inner peace where you can walk through a storm and not feel like you're just going to get whisked away. And that was true for me. Very true for me. It was and it is a passion for me. And it isn't something I was going to do a year and a half ago. I went through a program, and NLP is very much a part of the program that I went through Forbes Riley. And it is an amazing program called Next Level Speaker that really gets you to look inside. And I always said, I didn't go through this for nothing. But that was my purpose. I just wasn't ready. But I'm ready today. I'm ready today. My kids are grown. My sons will be 21 in August. My daughter will be 24. There was a lot of fear involved in that circumstance because there's a lot of power being wielded in that arena that really makes you feel scared of any move.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care about their job anymore. They forget about the people. And that's what I'm here for, is to remember that there's people in these situations and they do need someone to talk to. And it doesn't have to be an attorney. And I'm not an attorney. I'm a mom that went through a broken system and didn't let it kill me. I let it build me.
Were you in the San Bernardino Mountains when you said that you were in the mountains?
Yes, ma'am.
I was too. I lived in Running Springs, went to High School.
Okay, that's
Lake
crazy.
Arrowhead, not Big Bear. Well, I worked at Snow Valley.
Me too. So did I.
Gosh, and we had a cabin up in Green Valley Lake. So
I've been there too.
And my best story that I tell is we lived in a cabin way up in the mountains, one bathroom, 8 people, no electric heat. We had a fireplace. But also on our show, we like to do shout outs and edify people. And you had mentioned Forbes Riley. I want to do a shout out to her because she's one of the most positive people I've ever met. But her new book, I just started
make me cry.
Reading it. Yes, The Pitch Secrets, right? Do you got it? I know I have it in the other room. So
I do too. It's in the other room. Here you go. Yes, a shout out. I have a whole bunch of them. Yes.
Yes. And I also want to do a shout out to the Bible because this is the Bible verse that, I had a especially difficult day yesterday because I had a really, really good friend that I consider a sister lose a nephew to fentanyl.
Yeah, that's horrible.
And it's a really tragic, horrible situation because he's a very well-known artist that was loved by the community. Everybody said he didn't do drugs, so it's under investigation. We don't know if it was...
I'm so sorry.
It's under investigation, but I had a really hard time. And then this thing popped up. It said, be transformed by the renewing of your mind.
I know that verse.
And it really, when you read it out loud, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And you are a resilience mindset coach.
Yep.
And everything that you've been through has given you the strength, has given you the wisdom. Like you said earlier, I don't know if I would be here today had I not gone through all those things, right? And
I wouldn't be.
Being an advocate.
I really wouldn't be. Yeah.
Right?
It's funny that you said a verse because through all of that, I actually had a verse on any mirror in my house I could find. And it was 2 Corinthians 12:10, which actually says, therefore I am well pleased in weaknesses, in insults, in hardships, in persecutions and difficulties for Christ. For when I may be weak, then I'm powerful.
Yes. Love it.
Tired of being unseen?
We help you own the stage, amplify your voice,
and build a lasting legacy.
Start your ripple effect today.
I took a leap of faith. A year and a half ago, I had back fusion, and I knew everything was going to change for me. I had moved back home 10 years ago, put my kids in the schools over here, and I had thought it was going to be better. It was still pretty rough. There were still some problems, COVID and everything. By the time when we moved back, there were a bunch of fires. I'm in the area where the Camp Fire was, which is the biggest fire ever. They killed a whole lot of people. It almost killed my aunt and uncle. My mom and dad took in 7 people. My aunt and uncle lost their home, their truck, their everything. They just drove away with their motorhome and lived at my mom and dad's for 3 years. And you go through all of that, and it's amazing because you get to a point where you see all of I thought, great, I'm going home. It's going to be better. better, it was fire, 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 COVID.
Fire, 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 COVID.
I'm like, okay. And shutdowns and all of these things and threats and death and all these awful things that my kids were having to go through this stuff again. They'd already been through the fire, right? With all the stuff that we went through. And then COVID shut down. And I watched all of this happen again, but it made us a lot stronger. And in that word, resilience. You know, when you really understand what that means, man, it's a powerful word. And I just started a walk series that I put on all platforms. I put up a video every day. It's my way after my back fusion of making sure to move, right? Because I know it's just, I was saying, okay, my goal is to walk every day. And I heard Myron Golden. I don't know if you know who that is. He's a wonderful speaker too. He said, don't make it a goal, make it a non-negotiable. And I went,
yes.
Okay. Because he said it rewires your brain. Yeah. And so I did. And so I started doing this, I was already doing the walk, but there were days I'd be like, right. And not do it. But when I did that, okay, it doesn't matter. I have to do that today. That's part of what I have to do. So I started getting on the phone and I just started doing, because I was afraid of the lives too, right? I think when we all started, we're like, oh my gosh, I look crazy, right? But now I don't care. I'm not out here for me. I'm out here to serve other people. And when you really realize that it's really about service, it changes everything. It's been an amazing journey, and it's been one where Forbes really kind of pulled that out of me when we started doing this program. I got to meet her quite a few times now. She knows me by name, which is a lot of fun. So I can say that's my friend Forbes, not just my mentor. And I got to take my kids on another event after that first FredEx event that I went to with Forbes where I met her. They were going to a speaking event in Phoenix. And I really wanted my kids to meet them. Because I think one of the things I saw in my kids with all of the stuff that happened, and I know I have another program I'm working on that's called the Brave Anyway program for the kids. Because I think one of the things that happens in the legal system itself is the kids get lost in the mix because the parents are too busy fighting. And they need to understand that their kids are still there. And they're hurting too. My kids had no say. This whole court issue was the best interest of the kids, but they never met my kids. Never. 10 years, never met my kids, but you're making decisions for them every day. Every time we're in there, you're making decisions for them. So that was very, very hard for me to watch that happen and see how it affected them. So I know, there's so many kids that are victims of these cases when parents get into divorces or domestic violence or whatever it is. The parents stop paying attention to what's happening to their kids. And so for me, Brave Anyway program is a lot about my kids too. But I was able to take my kids to this event. This is really my point, is I didn't want them to think that being broke and being down on your luck and having all these bad things happen was how life is. Because I was hearing my son go, that's just the way life is. And it just, nothing ever works out, that whole thing. And I went, whoa, I don't want him to think that. And so I was able to take them with me, and they got to meet him. And McKenna actually noticed they were looking for me at one point and said, are you looking for your mom? And my kids came back up to me because she told them where I was. And they said, she was like a real person. I'm like, she is a real person. She just has money, right? She's still a real person. But, he said, no, I meant, she was really nice. I said, there are nice people out there that make money. There's this mindset. That's that mindset, right? Those stereotypes that get thrown in there. And it was really cool to see. And in the last year and a half where I've been going down this road and creating this program and getting myself out there, it's been fun to watch my one son that still lives with me change. He doesn't say that stuff anymore.
Oh, see?
And it warms my heart big time.
Right, to break out of those norms, but there's still character building moments for all of us.
once you turn 16, you don't even have a car to go looking for Queen. Are you tired of moping around without a thing to do? Are you tired of waiting around for them to come to you?
But me as a man, you know, we always have problem-solving skills. The problem-solving skills, right? We always try to go to those. So I go back to when this all first started to begin. You have all this experience now, 10 years in after. So if you go back to the beginning, what kind of golden nuggets could you tell someone and say, hey, maybe you ought to go steer here in this direction, or, you know, a little bit, because you're going to get slammed down the road. You know, those kind of golden nuggets.
Save them a decade.
Yes.
I had through your knowledge.
I had a great guy. This is a funny story. We were court ordered to a co-parenting class separately. Makes sense. Make that make sense. But we were in separate classes. They forced us to bring our kids to another session with kids. And we were told we couldn't ask them what anybody talked to them about. Now, we weren't married, and they were talking to these kids about divorce. So my kids get in the car, they're like, when did you and Dad get divorced? I'm like, oh my gosh, now I got a whole nother thing to explain to them, right? But we go to this coping class. That's really what it was. And this old attorney walked in. He was really old, had a cane. He comes into our class. He was really old. I was like, he's going to fall over. I know he's going to fall over. Just push him. But he walked in. He says, how many of you were told that you'd win by your attorney. Everybody, right? Raises their hand. He says, they all lied to you. Talk about debilitating, right? What? I'm paying a lot of money for that guy. What do you mean? He says, listen, the first thing I would say to you as a point of advice is don't go. But you guys are already here. So that's not an option. Second thing I would say to you, and it really resonated with me, and it's not a nice thing to hear, is the other way is that you both give up something and you walk out somewhat dissatisfied. And I went, yeah, because you're compromising, right? So really walking in with this mindset of I'm going to win, if it has to do with your kids, get that goes out the window. It's not true. The courts are totally about best interest of the kid, and they're very much in California about parents having shared time. So they don't see anything else. They can't see anything else. So for me, it's very much, you have to have a mindset. What I really liked that he said to me, and I would share this with everybody, is you can't walk in as a mom or a dad. You walk in like you're there for business. You walk in different. You can't, they don't want to see emotion. It's very much a part of my program and how we walk you through that, in giving you those tools to understand those things better, because it's not what it is. What you think that is definitely not what you think it is. Do I believe that justice is justice anymore? No, I don't. I think justice is a business. And if you can approach it in a different way and get out of it sooner, or just not get into it at all, that's better for you and better for your kids.
Wow.
Golden.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's amazing because anybody would want to go back to the beginning and start over and try to avoid all that. But even 5 years, you went through it 10 years. If someone could just only do it 5 and save 5 years, my goodness,
a lot of money.
That would do to somebody and those kids and everybody.
It's so debilitating because you don't ever expect it to be that long, right? I think a lot of people have this misnomer. They're going to go in and the judge is going to make a decision and you're done. That's a really bad thought process, because it isn't true. They're not looking to one and done.
Right.
It's a moneymaker. I mean, they could argue that all day. It's a moneymaker. There's a law that was changing while I was going through it, and it affected my case, and it was terrifying. And I had to learn it because most attorneys didn't even understand it. It was new. So there was no premise there. It was a very gray area, and it was terrifying because what the law allowed is for more than 2 parents. More the merrier kind of concept. I don't agree with that. I think if you're already in court, it's not more the merrier, it's more money.
Right.
And it was not, but they passed that. And so in California, there's a 3-parent law, which isn't just 3 parents. They can be 7. It can be, anybody can claim whatever. Okay, how do you divide the time now? How fair is that to your kids? That's not fair to your kids. There were many, many things that were deemed in my case that I went, that's not about my kids.
Right.
That's just a quick, let me just make a decision and get you out of here. Right? Next.
Well, I want to say something, back up a little bit, because some of my biggest disappointments and pain in life was because I was completely taken off guard in the corporate world, or where somebody does or says something that I did not see coming. And it's just because I wasn't educated or hadn't lived through it. And I think by us going through these circumstances is we can prepare people. You had mentioned something about not showing up as a mom, but thinking of it as a business. And it is how you show up and being prepared from the inside out. Like, okay, I'm going to, because you don't know what's coming at you. But if you have somebody experienced saying, okay, think of it, show up this way, because it's not always about the actual facts or the law, or, it's how those other people show up and what they say and do. And it can just completely shatter your world, in my experience, if you're not prepared.
Well, I think the thing is this, and you'll hear it not just in this scenario, but in anyone's life, really.
Mm-hmm.
Stop trying to control what you can't control.
Exactly. The serenity
You
part.
you can't control anything. There's really, truly one thing you can control, and that's how you react.
Yeah.
That's it.
The response.
And when you can manage that, I was somebody who really wasn't ever supposed to get my kids back, and I got sole custody and a move away.
Woo! Well, see, there's the positive outcome right there. And they are all the better for it. They are amazing kids. Well, they're not kids anymore, but it's funny how we call 30-year-old kids nowadays.
Right. Well, my sons they're still young. I still think, especially for my sons, they're still molding and growing. My youngest, he'll tell you, oh, I'm still a kid. I don't want to be an adult. I'm like, that's good. That's good.
I love it.
So I was going to say, do your kids know through this process how much their mom really, really loved them, to go to fight for them so hard? Do they come around and say that to you?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They were having me visit my kids once a week at a McDonald's with a CPS worker next to me like I was some criminal. And my son said, Mom, when are we going home? I said, I don't know, son, but I'm going to get you there. And he knew I meant it because he knew me. I never held back with my kids. I didn't shelter them. I didn't keep things from them. I didn't feel it was right to keep them in the dark. It was a very difficult situation and very real and raw with my kids when it came to what was going on. There were things I didn't tell them, things that I was court ordered not to tell them, things that were not. And it's tough. You're scared. You're just scared in that whole situation. It's, we talk so much in the arenas that I'm in now about fear and not letting fear take hold of you, but that system is built to do that to you. Mm. And my sister bought me a book years ago. It's the funniest thing. And it wasn't just about divorce. It was called Splitting. But it was really about who's in the system, who's going. And I was very shocked because it literally said most of the people that are the ones that are filing to start the case are narcissists.
Yeah. So
how do you fight that? That's a tough one. And that's true because then they don't care what anybody says. They're just going to keep going because they want to win. Mm-hmm. And that becomes not about your kids, not even about themselves. I mean, they've even lost sight of their own pocketbook. I mean, let's be real. How much money are you willing to spend to prove that you're right? I mean, that's a crazy thing, but people do it every day.
And their biggest talent is gaslighting. Is it called gaslighting or gaslighting?
Gaslighting.
Yeah. I mean, truly, that is their biggest talent.
Oh, absolutely. I was 100% gaslit.
Hi, I'm Lori Hardy, and I help business owners go from frustration to ease when it comes to podcasting. If you're looking to boost your credibility and grow your business but feel overwhelmed by the process, I've got you covered. With over 30 years of experience in top radio markets, I know how to make your voice heard. My 7-day Podcast Pro program helps you move from scattered and unsure to confidently launching and maintaining a podcast that connects with your audience, builds your legacy. It's done with ease and minimal time. Plus, I'll share insider tips to help you rank in the top 5% and take your message national or even global. 7-day Podcast Pro is your launch pad. Let's get your voice into the world where it belongs.
You're watching the Rockstar Diaries TV show.
What time it is? Mm-hmm. It's time for the hard questions. Dun, dun, dun.
The hard questions.
One of our regular segments on Rockstar Diaries.
Okay. Now
Be prepared. Don't be afraid.
I'm ready.
I think this is a no-brainer.
I'm the legal system warrior. I'm not afraid of anything. Go ahead.
Exactly.
This is going to be pretty easy for you. But you got to listen carefully. Okay, so you're in the San Bernardino Mountains, right? And you get out of your car and you have to fight for survival. And you have a big stick in your hand. It's a bobcat, a coyote, or a lawyer. Which one would you rather hit over the head with a stick? And where are you going for dinner?
Well, that is really truly a hard question. I do believe, and now I've experienced the bobcat, and I've experienced coyotes, and I've certainly experienced the attorney. So, which one am I going to hit over the head? That's a hard one. That's a really hard one. I have a big heart for animals, so it'd probably be the attorney. And then where am I going to dinner? Well, I'm in Running Springs. There's not many choices.
Running Springs, that's where we live.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you know when you get off the exit to go to Running Springs?
Yep.
If you were to turn left and go up across that bridge, and it's not the first left, but the second left, that was our house right there. It overlooked.
Oh, yeah.
That big corner. That's where we lived.
You were only a few miles from me.
Oh, my gosh. And I mean, this is.
I lived there from. That's funny. I was there. I have to think of the years. 14 to 2017. 2013 to 2017, something like that.
By then.
Yeah. And I did work at Snow Valley. I worked at Snow Valley one season. Actually, I was very blessed in that. That's a little bit of part of my story because I had lost my kids. I lost everything. And I was up there by myself. I didn't know anyone. But I had gone to a job fair because they were telling me I had to get a job. Good luck. I'm not a local. So, if you're not a local, good luck. You can't get a job up there. So I went to Snow Valley. They were having a job fair, and I was filling out everything because I'm a double bachelor and I'm bilingual. Nobody wants to hire me because I'm too expensive, and I'm too old. And so I'm filling everything out I can. I'm like, I don't know, I don't care. I'm just going to fill it. I need a job. Well, this gal came over. She goes, "Hey, did you put on there that you had HR experience?" I said, "Yeah." She says, "Come with me." I'm like, "Okay." Takes me up to the bar area, right, to the HR manager. Well, they weren't advertising an HR assistant, but I got hired as an HR assistant. And because I got hired as an HR assistant, guess who was in charge of doing all of the hiring in within a week or two? So I met hundreds of people in a very short period of time, and a lot of people that really stepped up. And I really do believe God puts people in those places. That's God showing up. And he showed up in a lot of places for me with a lot of those people that I will forever be grateful for. They just showed up.
Oh, yes.
I just noticed something.
What?
If you don't hit the lawyer over the head with the stick, he might take it from you.
That's why I said I had
to get away from the bobcat and the coyote.
And we asked you about dinner, but if you were in Running Springs, the only place to have dinner was it starts with an L. I can't remember the name. It was on the way to Snow Valley. There weren't very many restaurants.
Well, there's a few. There was the pizza place, the cafe. Good coffee. I go to the cafe. They got good coffee.
Okay. Yes, I mean, to give people context.
Or if it was for my kids, I go to the pizza place because they had an arcade. So.
Oh, the pizza place! I will never forget that. And the arcade
what is it
down
called?
below, which my brother used to rip them off.
Oh,
all the quarters. He'd go steal all the quarters. My brother was like a master of getting into small areas.
Is there a statute of limitations for that?
But
I'm the legal system warrior. Yes, there is. It's too late. Neo's. That was called Neo's. Neo's Pizza.
Yes. True. I can't believe it's still there. See, once you're there, it's like Hotel California.
Still there.
You never leave. I did get out, fortunately, but it was for good reasons. But any ending anything that you want to say that you haven't been able to say, we don't want you walking away thinking, "Oh, I should have said that."
No. I really. My biggest message to people is, listen, I don't know if there's anybody out there like me. In fact, I've looked and I really don't think anybody's doing what I'm offering. And I'm offering it because I want to serve other people. And I really want to help people not have to go through that alone, number one. And number two, to be able to walk in and have a strategy, not a legal strategy, but a strategy to be more confident, walking in, knowing what they're walking into, to be able to walk out of there and not get crushed. And be that person for them through these programs, give them that insight. And I have a motto. It's called be unbothered, be unbreakable, and unstoppable. And what that means is not what I think people think it means, but because, oh yeah, you think you're unbothered. I'm bothered sometimes, but unbothered means you don't hang on to it, because hanging on to that is negative. And by being unbothered, you can be unbreakable. Unbreakable really truly means to me that you just keep getting back up. And I love something that I heard that really made me feel a whole lot better. I don't know if you know who Stephen Furtick is. He's an online pastor. I was listening to him one day and he said, for all those people that go through so much, you're the one Satan's the most afraid of. That's why he keeps throwing stuff in front of you, because you keep getting back up. And I went, oh, right? I just keep getting back up. So keep getting back up. You are unbreakable. You can keep getting up and be unstoppable by having a goal, writing them down and striving towards those, because you really can change your trajectory. I did.
Oh, yay.
Mic drop.
Mic drop. And I'm going to say what's on your Facebook page. Mindset is your greatest superpower. Think strong, stay focused, keep moving forward.
Yes, ma'am.
That is those are your words. So
one step in front of the other. And my page is going to be up. I don't know if you have that. It's www.thelegalsystemwarrior.com. I do. I have 3 books now.
See, that's what I'm saying. Oh my goodness. Hey,
my friend Dr. Carla Hooker and I just put out a book. It's called The Dancing Horse and the Warrior Owl. It's a children's book.
Oh,
and it's actually,
I love it. And I love Carla Hooker. She's so nice.
It's right here. It's right here. I don't know if you can see it with my background.
Oh, I love kids' books.
Yes, and it's actually a book for kids. It's for a story of courage, friendship, and finding your shine. And it really is ultimately about being a kid. And I'm the owl, if you couldn't tell with the glasses, that was me. But it also ties to our professions. Warrior owl. I'm the warrior. And it really is such a great little book. We want it to be global. We really want people to reach out. It's on Amazon. It's a great little book. And actually, I have 11 more, so we're hoping for it to be a 12-book series, just to reach out to kids and really let them know they're not alone. I don't know if you've seen Dr. Carla Hooker, but she's an amazing story in and of herself. And she's someone I met at the Forbes Riley first event that I went to, and we became sisters. We actually have, I didn't say that either, but we have a show every Thursday called Double Impact Live that we have on for free on Zoom. And we have that all over my feeds and stuff. And we just bring on great people. It's real stories, real struggles, and just real overcoming of adversity to show people that you're not alone.
All righty. Love you, girl.
Take care.
I love you guys.
Bye.
Cedar Ridge Acres. Soap. Why? 'Cause you smell good.
Rockstar Diaries swag. Scan now.
Get your exclusive gear.
Check it out.